At that time, Danny was the chief administrator of homeless services, and I was like the assistant director. And so he called me and he said, guess what? Are you sitting down? He was so excited. He says, I said, no, what happened? He said, well, sit down. And I sat and I said, well, what's happening? He said, oh, Princess Di might be coming to visit us. And I was like, oh.
And so what was her visit like? I hear that you studied up on the etiquette of interacting with royals before her visit.
Once we were chosen and the decision was that she was coming, then we had to figure out what would we show the princess. And we wanted her to see authentic urban family center. So we decided to invite some of our formerly homeless women, and some of them had been in our domestic violence shelter also, to be a part of the group that met with the princess.
Okay.
So rather than me or being an executive director or an administrator, we thought it would make more sense for her to have an opportunity to talk with some of the women. So once we all decided, and a couple of the women were royal watchers, but I wasn't, and most of them weren't. So we really didn't know how to act or what was protocol when you meet someone in the royal family. So we decided that we would read up on it. And I never forget, I went to the library in my local community, and this librarian thought, oh my God, oh, and you're not so excited. I thought, well, yeah, she's coming. And so we read and tried to make sure we knew what protocol was. We didn't want to, do things that was disrespectful. And we had our homework all cut out. We did it. We learned what to do. And when the princess got there, first thing I did was exactly what we read not to do. And we were clear that if she did not reach for my hand, I should not shake her hand. So she got out of the car and I reached for her hand and she was fine. And then she said, hey, we're wearing the same colors. So that for me was like the icebreaker.
Yeah.
She was so real and down to earth. I didn't have to get real nervous. And the day just went on. And what we had decided, we would have a group interview with the princess, with the women.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would have a visit our daycare center. And then she also visited a family. And so this way she was able to see what an apartment was like and how families were living. And those were the key areas, the three areas that we had her visit. And our daycare center was across the street in the housing project. So she had to cross the street, walk across the street to go around to the building where the daycare center was. And people from the community were lined up, and it was just a big Lower East Side event. And everybody was just so excited that she had come. And she was just, the entire group, all of the women felt so connected to her. Mm-hmm. Because she was much different than we really had expected. We expected royalty to be, real royal and puffed up, but she was not that way at all.
What did her visit mean for team members and residents of the shelter at the time?
For the residents, they, it was almost like an event. Look, a rock star came to visit us. For the staff, for the team, it was kind of validation that we were doing a good job and that our reputation was stellar.
Do you think that Princess Diana's visit had any impact on awareness of homelessness?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a big public event like that, this was an international visit. It helped people to become aware. It's almost like, oh, if Princess Di is interested, let me find out a little more about what's going on. So I believe it helped bring more awareness to the problem of homelessness and domestic violence. Unfortunately, the problems remain the same. This was the same poverty, the same issues around schooling, all of the things that we are experiencing.